Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. Excellent, 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 excellent. Woo. Okay, okay, okay. Let me just make sure everything is the way I would like it to be before we make a start. Excellent. Lovely to have you guys here. Let's see. Let's see. Everything is where I would like it to be, I believe. So, yes, here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the 14-day prosperity reset for today. How are you doing? We're starting a whole new one, and I'm so excited to share this stuff with you. Okay, I'm Rosemary Knight, by the way. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the 14-day, I said it, the 14-day prosperity reset. And why did I call it a reset? It's a reset because you know what? You have built a life to date that looks a certain way. There are things that you would like to bring to life. There are things that you would like to change. But building on the foundation you have right now, this is as far as it gets. And you've been trying, you've been doing different things, you've been blah, 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 blah. But ultimately, things aren't changing as much as you would like them to. So now what we need to do is reset some of your foundation so that the action you start to take, because we are divine beings having a human experience, we need to ensure that from within ourselves, that the beliefs and the trauma and the whatever that you're building your life upon is a little bit shaken, so that new ideas can take root within you, and then you can build your life on top of that stuff. So yes, for this next 14 days, please very fully do the simple things I ask you to do, but we'll talk about that as we go through. And I also like to say at the very beginning of all of this stuff that please do not assume that your whole life is going to suddenly change because you did something for 14 days after doing decades of doing whatever it is that you're doing right now. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't start this way, should I? I should start by telling you how amazing it's all going to be. I do expect every single person to have some kind of tangible breakthrough, to have some kind of miracle money if you do it consistently for the 14 days. Now, lots of people love to tell me about how I love to start things, but I never seem to finish them. I just can't seem to do it. And I generally tend to smile at this because I think to myself, well, is it true though? Is it true though? Because for most people, and probably including you, you are very consistently doing something to create the life you have currently. You've been doing it consistently for who knows how many decades. You've been going to work consistently, even though you may not have even enjoyed it. You have been whatever. You've been doing things very consistently. But somehow, when it comes to doing something that actually has the potential to transform your life, I start things and I never seem to be able to finish them. And I'm so helpless against it. I love you. I do. But you are the only one that has all the choices here. You can, because we live in this wonderful day and age where most of us walk around with our phones, and maybe not you, but on your phone or your Alexa or your whatever, there is the ability to set a timer, to set alarms, to remind you to stay consistent. So let us not be those who come with I start things and I never finish them, and I just don't know how to be consistent. And enough. That level of thinking has kept you stuck for way too long. You know you're powerful. You know you are. You've created great things with your life. You just know that you're meant for more. And that's why you're here. There's no mistake about you being here. You have asked the universe, the divine, for support. And then somehow, woo, Rosemary appeared. Yay! Well, great. Now you're here. Please, please, please don't have reasons why you will not take advantage of this to the fullness of its capability to support you, because it can. Everything you need to create whatever it is that you want out of your life is actually available to you. You just don't know how to access it. What we do in the Deliberate Millionaire Gathering and what you will be invited to beyond this 14-day thing, but I love everybody to begin with doing this because we want to reset things, you are being invited to start learning how to wield your internal ability, your spiritual authority to create the life that you want. Because most of us are well versed at working hard. Okay, you know how to work hard. You know how to work hard. You've been working hard. You keep taking the second jobs and you work hard. You're not ashamed or you're not afraid of hard work. But you've reached the peak of hard work alone. So you do need to learn how to take what you kind of know the theory of and turn it into something practical. that actually works for you predictably, but it's going to take some time. Just the same as you learned any practical skill, you need to learn these spiritual skills because they are skills. They're not just, I don't know, that sometimes spiritual people have this idea that just because I know something, it should just work for me. No, you have to know it and learn how to apply it consistently. And then it starts to become predictable for you. You start to understand the way it feels when it's working. You start to understand what you're doing and all of that stuff. And I teach this stuff within the Deliberate Millionaire Gathering. So please make sure you take advantage of everything that is happening within the Deliberate Millionaire Gathering. Do not lurk. Do not sit on the, oh, let me just watch what everybody else is doing. You don't get anything that way. Play full out. Very simple things. Before I make you or ask you for a commitment to yourself, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. But for now, just start to be open to the idea that there's so much more. Well, you know that there's so much more available to you. But how do I put this? Just be open to the idea that something you're doing is not working. You kind of know this. But then be open to taking on these new ideas and stop with the instant gratification thing. Commit to this path for a period of time so that you see the difference it can make for you. You've tried the dabbling at this and tried this. Oh, that sounds exciting. Let me do that. And let's, oh, that, oh, you've tried all of that. And it doesn't get you anywhere because it's almost like you're always starting again, always starting again, always starting again. Enough. But anyway, let's carry on, or else I'll just keep talking here. But anyway, welcome. This whole thing is to help you break old patterns, to reconnect more deeply with the divine, because that's absolutely critical, and to have that tangible breakthrough. I really want you all, and if you do it, you will have a tangible breakthrough. Now, whether it happens within 7 days, 14 days, or some of y'all might need to go on to 30 days, and that's okay. I'll tell you what to do to go on to 30 days. Why? Because I don't know what level of beliefs and trauma and all of that stuff that needs to be kind of shaken within you. What I do know is that if you do it consistently for at least, well, for some of y'all, for a maximum of 30 days, everyone, there's something itching my head, so everyone has some kind of tangible breakthrough, but usually some kind of miracle money. It's not really a miracle to me because it's only a miracle when you don't know how it works. Okay, but what is happening when you get this thing is, as I said, things have shaken. Love energy is able to flow more freely through you, and so that's why you suddenly get this. Things are happening, and people get all excited, and then go back to living the old way, and then wonder why nothing changes anymore. Please don't be that person. Please don't be that person. But you know what? I can only invite. Anyway, here is an example of someone who did it, because I started sharing this as a 7-day thing. Okay. Oh, say hi in the what's it called chat as you guys come on. There is a chat box thing there somewhere. I usually like to say this, but I forgot. Anyway, this was an example. You probably can't see it anyway, so I copied and pasted it. But this was somebody who did it because I started it as just a 7-day thing. Put this thing together in conjunction with the divine and everything that I was learning, and I practiced it myself as well. And for a 7-day thing, and then this person had all of these things happen. Can I say that you're going to have all of these same things? Of course not. Each person is an individual. But as I said, if you will do it consistently for at least for up to 30 days, depending on what you need, you will have some kind of tangible breakthrough. You will have a tangible breakthrough, and I want you to look out for it, whether it's money, whether it's relationships. I do expect miracle money, truth be told. But for some people, it might be relationships, because that might be the more urgent thing for you, or it might be health. It might be the more urgent thing for you. Whatever, you will have a very clear, tangible breakthrough if you do this consistently, just as this person did as well. Okay, so let us carry on. Please be very present here, whether you're listening to the recording, whether you're here with me live, be very present. Actually really hear what I'm saying here, not just what I'm saying, actually. Also listen to what the divine is trying to get through to you. The fact that you have created the space to be here or to listen to this, you are saying to the divine, I'm ready. I'm really ready. What guidance do you have for me? And again, allow yourself to hear what the guidance the divine is providing to you specifically, okay? So be very present here. Okay, now, who is it for? It's for you. If you're here, there's no mistake about you being here. If you're listening to recording, there's no mistake about you listening to it. No mistake at all. There's no coincidences. You're here for a reason. The only thing is, of course, you have free will. You get to, that sounds exciting. Oh, look at that exciting thing over there. Or, you know what, that sounds great. I'm going to do it. The choice is yours, okay? But you know in the core of your being that you're destined for something more. Some of y'all even would say that you're destined for greatness. Now, maybe you don't say it out loud, but there's a part of you that just kind of always known that you're meant for something more. I remember saying this to a friend, and she kind of looked at me as I was crazy. I was in my 20s when I said this, and I think she was just like, "You're super proud." And I used to think, "Oh, I'm super proud for thinking that." But now I realize, no, it's not proud to admit who you are. It's silliness not to, truth be told. So you may as well fully embrace who you are and stop trying to fight against what you actually want. Own it. You're meant for more. You're meant for greatness. Okay. But you feel a bit stuck right now. You wonder what is getting in the way. You wonder when it'll be your turn. You're trying to be thankful, but it feels like a struggle at times. And the longer you stay on this planet, yeah, sometimes, man, the physical reality can feel as if it's never going to move. And it feels like, oh, I'm just stuck here and I'm an adult now and I'm supposed to be responsible and I should just, okay, enough. As long as you're ready for change, as long as you're open to doing very simple things consistently, this will help you. This 14-day prosperity reset plus abundance, staying in the Deliberate Millionaire Gathering, it will change things for you, okay? Again, stay the course. Be consistent. Set timers. Decide, even now as you're listening to me, it's good. The things that I'm going to tell you to do or ask you to do, they take about 20 minutes a day. When are you going to fit it in? First thing in the morning, last thing at night? Tell me in the chat. When are you going to fit it in? Make a commit, start to make that little commitment inside of you right now that I'm going to do it at this time or 7 a.m. on every day. This is when I'm going to do it or whatever. I'm going to do it first thing or last thing. That's what I would say to you. First thing, personally, I prefer first thing, but I'm more of an early bird. You might be a night owl, in which case, fine, last thing, do it. But decide, when are you going to do it, okay? As long as you're willing to do this, you will see change. No doubt in my mind about this at all, because when you really know who you are, you realize that actually success at whatever you set your mind to is not even optional. It's inevitable. You just haven't set your mind. In fact, I wrote a blog post about this today because I heard the divine saying this to me. This for most people, it's the problem. A lot of the problem is that you have your 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You have both faith that something can change, but you also have a heck of a lot of doubt. And there's a part of you that is a little bit too nervous to fully commit to the faith, because it all seems a little bit like people are going to think I'm stupid if I go all in and start believing that something can happen for me, and then I look like an idiot. Who is watching you that closely anyway? But I'll look like an idiot if I commit and then nothing happens. The only way for nothing to happen is for you to quit. Really, really. I can't tell you how long things will take, but that is it. As sure as people seem to think failure is, success is that sure as well. It's just that people are either succeeding at failing or succeeding at succeeding. What would you rather? Okay, but anyway, tangents always. Are you willing to do simple things consistently? I hope so. I'm Rosemary Nonny Knight, by the way. If you're new to the community, hello. I'm a weird blend of African and British. I'm here in the UK right now. Was born in the UK, went back to Nigeria, came back when I was 17 and have been here since I was 17. And so I have seen crazy poverty. But I've also known the divine for practically ever, because frankly, when you're in a third world country, you need the divine. And in my case, I definitely needed the divine because my father had this car accident when I was about 6 or 7, and we were all in the car, and he broke his spine, and yeah. So I learned from a very young age just how much I needed the divine, and I have been developing that relationship forever. But I did it in the context of a Christian environment, which I've had to leave because at some point, something that was supporting me in getting closer to the divine became something that was preventing me from getting closer to the divine. So yeah, it's all of that. If you've been reading any of my stuff, you'll kind of start to get a picture of my life here. But ultimately, I trained up to become a pharmacist because that was what my parents decided that I had to do, and it was reasonable. And coming from, as I say, a third world country, frankly, I was blessed to have an education at all. So for me, it was like, oh, thank you that I have an education, even though I don't think I want to do this. But oh well, at least I'll have a job and I'll have some money coming in. Until I did it, realized I kind of hate it. ultimately kind of hate it. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have to do this for the rest of my life. Are you kidding me? But anyway, I was blessed to be a blessing. Got lots of money coming in. I was finally having money coming in consistently, more money than I'd ever had in my life. And then I was getting into debt even faster because I was blessed to be a blessing. Let's give away all the money. Yay. So, so I started to say yes to everybody, as you do. And then realized, oh, I'm going bankrupt. Oh, I'm 7 months pregnant. Oh my gosh, what has happened? What is going on? This was not supposed to happen to me. And then for 4 years after that, because I woke up the next day after going bankrupt at 7 months pregnant with my first daughter, and realized that everything inside of me, as in all my emotions, had gone dead. Ultimately, I call it the blank. I felt numb completely inside because well, with hindsight, I look back and realize I just gone to the depths of depression at this point because I felt like such a failure. I felt like such a failure. Like, for me, going bankrupt, it was like that was never supposed to happen to someone like me. It wasn't supposed to happen to me. So, but it did. And so for the next 4 years, I gave birth to my amazing other two daughters. So I have three amazing daughters. And then about the 4 years in of kind of feeling sorry for myself and not feeling anything at all, I had a call from a family member who there was some kind of emergency happening in the extended family, which they wanted me to send money over for. And I'm just like, I'm not sending no money to anybody anymore. I hadn't told anybody, however, they'd gone bankrupt because I was so ashamed of it. So I just had this relative yelling down the phone at me for, how dare you not do this? And I'm sitting here thinking, this is not supposed to be my life. I've gone bankrupt and now I'm being yelled at about freaking money. Are you kidding me? So at this point, I realized I need to do something different. And I started to wake up properly and actually take a more deliberate role in designing my life rather than just waiting for things to happen to me. And again, I've known the divine forever, and the divine will never force you to claim your real life. The divine loves you unconditionally. If you choose to be passive for the rest of your life, you will still be loved unconditionally. If you choose to wake up and actually start living life deliberately and create the life you're meant for, you will still be loved unconditionally. The divine loves you whatever you choose to do. This is your life experience. You get to decide, am I going to go through it feeling desperate, or am I going to go through it actually owning it and creating it? And I finally started to wake up. But I still decided I was going to do all kinds of random things because I was still scared. I knew, having been, spiritual and all of that forever, and even when I was at school, I was teaching people spiritual principles, helping them do this and that and the other. And this was actually when I was pretty young. And so I've always known what I'm meant to be doing, but I was scared. Again, I've been trained very, very, very well by my parents and everybody around me that these things are not practical. Okay. Even my chemistry teacher used to say to me, why are you doing this whole pharmacy thing? You're supposed to be doing music or some other thing. I was like, oh yeah, tell my parents that. So anyway, I started actually as I said, taking authority of my life, but I did get into property first because it felt more practical. It felt more reasonable. And now I have lots of people doing the whole, I'll do real estate thing because it does feel practical. And it's not, for most people doing it that come on the phone to me, they're doing it only because somebody's told them that it's the quickest way to make money. That's what somebody told me. So, and you know what? It did. I did make it work. So within 18 months, the first 12, after 12 months, I kind of won this Porsche Boxster and everything for being businesswoman of the year. It was one of the hardest years of my life. I'm not going to lie. After having children and building a business was one of the hardest things I'd ever done, because most of us are trained to be employees. It's a completely different mindset to become a business owner. But I as much as they were telling me when I started doing this whole business thing, and remember, I was just coming out of debt and all of this, and my credit was short. And I decided to go networking and figure out what I was going to do. And property, as I said, seemed to be the thing that I could do around my children. And because at this point, I'd also decided I wanted to home educate as well, because I got pregnant with my first baby, and I'm thinking, there's no way somebody else is having them for more time than I have them each day. So yes, so there was all of this going on anyway. And I got into real estate, and they were selling it to me saying, there's no money down, do this thing, no money down. I'm thinking, I have no money. So let's learn these no money down strategies. But to learn these no money down strategies, I had to pay money. But at this point, I was kind of the mindset of, well, I had spent God knows how long training to be a pharmacist. I paid good money for that. Why do I think? Because I dabbled that business before. And as soon as it got difficult, I just say, oh well, I'll fall back on being a pharmacist and kind of forget all of that. But this time it was like, well, you know what? I paid money to become a pharmacist and I didn't even want to do it. Why did I think that I could somehow retrain, but with no training? So at this point, I was like, okay, I need to get the money to learn these things. So I got really resourceful about getting the money because, as I said, my credit was short. So, so I did anyway. I paid out what 10,000 or whatever, which was scary. But there was a commitment inside of me that said this money has freaking got to come back. And it was still a sideways step, as I say. It was still a sideways step. It wasn't actually the thing that I was meant to be doing, but it was the thing that I felt confident enough to do. Doing what I'm doing right now, it took some doing. It took some pivoting and changing, because after doing the real estate thing, and yes, within 18 months, I made more. I was making multi six figures. So I was able to leave pharmacy. So great. It did work. I followed the strategy whatever this guy told me to do, I did it. And I did it consistently for that period of time because I was, oh, that money is coming back. It's almost like I was taking money out of my children's mouths to do this thing. So it was like I was fully committed rather than dabbling as I had done before. Rather than dabbling, as some of y'all do. I love you, but let's be honest. So I stopped dabbling and I got really serious about this. So within 18 months, I had actually made the money back. And I started, and I was working with a coach who was like, but what do you really want to do? And I was like, oh, well, I would rather be a coach. It's like, why don't you do it? Oh, I need to wait until I'm at least 52 or 72, right? More life experience. And then maybe I'll do it. It's like, oh, come on, get going now. It's like, okay. So I started business coaching, plain old business coaching, because again, it felt safe. So I was trying to teach people just strategies and everything that I had done, because I started with property business coaching and then became general business coach, and all the time trying to avoid talking about my spirituality or anything like that, because I thought the marketplace doesn't want to know this stuff. And it seems kind of scary and people are going to think I'm weird. So it was, again, working with a coach who said, yeah, but then you're telling me that it's your connection to the divine plus the strategies that have actually got you there. But all you're teaching people is the strategies without the connection to the divine. And I'm like, well, they don't want to hear the other stuff. It's like, no, you're lying to people. So it was at this point, I started little by little trying to kind of open up and talk about spiritual things. And yeah, over a period of time, ultimately, I became me. Or I surrendered to being me. And some of you all need to surrender to being yourself, because you keep telling yourself stories about what you can or cannot do. And I understand, because I did it. But I also know this with hindsight, and I hope you hear me, that the life you want to build takes as much energy to build as the one you are building that you think is safe. Why not just go for the one you want instead of taking all these side steps and random pivots, trying this and trying that to avoid the real life you want, when actually, if you just completely committed to the actual one you wanted and surrendered to it, you could just build the one you wanted without wasting lots of time. I wasted a lot of time doing all of this. Oh, let's try this. And again, divine is not going to force you. The divine will support whatever you choose to do, because it is your life experience and you have free will. Okay. But again, it takes the same amount of energy to build a life you want. Why not just go straight there? If I could save myself time and go back and tell my person, and I do, I tell my past self. But you know what? I'm telling you now, build the life you actually want. But anyway, carrying on. That's kind of the short and the long of my story. I need you to understand something here. Life actually is meant to be simple. We make it complicated. Life is supposed to be easy. We make it hard. And prosperity is your divine right if you will claim it. The problem is that we forget the pain, the limiting beliefs of our pasts, the past experiences, and everything you see ever happening to everybody else, and blah, blah, blah. You decide that must mean that something about you, and blah, blah. All of this causes us to create unnecessary difficulties for ourselves. But we tell ourselves we have no choice. I have no choice. I had to become a property person. Really? Why? I had to become a business coach. Nobody wants to hear. Who said? Obviously, lots of people want to hear about spiritual things, but oh, no, not from me. No, that made my life unnecessarily difficult. Okay? You are probably doing that right now. You are the only one, however, with all the choices. All the choices are within your hands when it comes to your life. You can rise victorious and actually go back to your true design. But this is what I ask you during this 14-day thing, please. Don't go all human on me. And let me explain what I mean. Do not add anything to what I teach you to do here. Okay. Some of you all have been studying law of attraction and manifestation and whatever, all this stuff. You know, all the universal laws. You have all the knowledge, but you haven't actually figured out how to apply it. So when I tell you to do simple things, you'll think, oh, yeah, but I think if I just tweak this. And I had people say this, come into group and then tell me, well, I know you said that I shouldn't add anything to it, but I thought that if honey, no, I said, don't add anything to it. So please, okay? Don't add anything to it, okay? Don't take anything away from it. The 7 simple steps I give you are 7 and they're simple. Don't make it complicated, okay? Stop jumping around. Make a commitment. Make a commitment to being here for at least a year. Yeah, for at least a year. I know. Oh, yeah, seems so long. Okay, we're coming to the end of another year right now. Did you not? How quickly has this year gone by? And how many 12-month periods have gone by since you decided that you were going to change things and you haven't changed them yet? Another 12-month period is about to begin. Are you going to keep saying the same stuff? Oh, that seems so long, but oh, look at that exciting thing. They said I could change everything in 3 weeks. Or they said 3 months. Oh, I can do it. How many times has this happened where you start something new and get all excited and then I get the whole can't be consistent thing. We already talked about that. Yes, you can. You are being consistent right now in your current existence with stuff you say you don't even want. And yet you are consistently doing it every single day. Yes, you can be consistent. You're just being a bit picky about what you choose to be consistent about. Okay, and I understand. There's underlying things. I get it. But understand it is within you to stay consistent. You can be consistent. So again, this is all part of not being human on me in this experiment and telling yourself or giving yourself reasons and excuses. Set those alarms right now. Morning, night. When are you going to do this thing? Set a time. Decide. This is my time. This is my time. Nothing, no one is getting in the way of it. Nothing, no one is getting in the way of my prosperity. This is my time. You're the only one. As I said, you're the one with all the choices. And please stop with the instant gratification stuff. It doesn't work. And sometimes instant gratification doesn't look as obvious as it seems. But if you're that person that keeps talking about how I can't be consistent, but you're being consistent with everything you don't like, it's instant gratification that you're suffering from. Because it's like becoming a pharmacist was, in some ways, it was an instant gratification, even though it took quite a period of years to become this pharmacist. I knew from the start that if I did this and I did this and I did this, that I'd definitely become a pharmacist unless I really failed my exams. But it was a very clear-cut, very clear path. For me, that was, for most people, that is instant gratification, because in the moment you start, you know, if I do this, I'm going to get it. Whereas when it comes to actually building a life that you alone can kind of see in your mind, in your subconscious mind, and you have this idea of the things that you would like to create, it almost feels really unknown. And it takes faith. It takes courage to hold on and do it. And so because there's no immediate, oh my God, it's definitely working, there's the, I'm not sure this is going to work. So I'm not sure I want to give all my energy to building something that may not even work for me. Again, let me tell you this. I don't know why you're well, I do know why. You're so much more confident of failure than you are of success. But actually, they're both as inevitable as the other. It really does come down to the individual person. What are you giving most of your attention to? What are you giving most of your attention to? If you're giving all of your attention to doubt is so subtle. So it looks like you're trying, but there's always the hold back. There's always the pulling back, which means that you're giving your attention to doubt. Then of course you're going to fail. But you created that failure. As certainly as the sun rose in the east, you created it. Same thing with success. If you will give all of your attention to succeeding, you will inevitably succeed. And this is like the divine keeps saying to me, Rosemary, because I too, we're all being brought up to believe that somehow failure is more certain than success. It's not true. It's not true. It's just most people give in to failing. And so then we decided that must mean that failure is more absolute than success. It's not true. It's just that most people give up. Don't be most people. Okay? So stop with the instant gratification stuff and realize, actually, if I hold on to the desires of my heart, whether it's in my relationships, whether it's in my money, whether it's in the career that I'm building or the business that I'm building or my health or whatever, if I hold on to the vision of what I have for that, it is inevitable that I will succeed. even on the dark days, it's inevitable that I will succeed. If you would truly start to surrender to a truth that you already kind of know, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. It's just the working it out in the practical everyday can feel hard. None of y'all are here because I'm telling you some kind of fascinating something I've never heard before. I might say things in a way that you haven't heard them, but actually there's a part of you that resonates with it, and it's like you're putting words to what I've kind of already known, and that's all I'm doing. Okay, you know this. You know this to be true. You can feel the divine affirming what I'm saying inside of you, but you haven't surrendered to it. You haven't surrendered to yourself. It's not surrendering to the divine, or it's to yourself. You're still fighting with your own desires. Stop. Don't go all human on me during this 14 days, please. This is an example of somebody who did it in 7 days. Okay. Share my screen. Share screen. Yeah. Okay. So this person had some kind of unexpected refund from an insurance company, and that's the kind of thing that will happen. For me, it was tax refunds. Within the first, I don't know, day or something, I suddenly got 600 quid. I was just like, I don't even know where that came from. Or it was a tax refund. So I think I was expecting one or the other. So because within the next few days, I got another 1,200, and it was just like, so one of them was unexpected, and I was just like, what? Is this actually working? Because then you start to tell yourself it must be coincidence. It was going to happen anyway. Honey, you create everything. Okay, you just don't know that you're doing it. Okay, you don't know that you're doing it, and that's what being in the Deliberate Millionaire Gathering will help you to become a heck of a lot more deliberate about how you're designing your life. Okay, because you'll start to learn how to very predictably wield your spiritual authority as well as the practical work that you know how to do anyway. Okay, so that was an example of somebody who had this, and we call them miracles, but really they're not really miracles. Okay, we just don't always, it's like the light. When somebody discovered a light switch, to some people it was a miracle. To me, it's still a bit of a miracle. I have no real idea. I mean, I learned physics and stuff, but I have no real idea how me pressing a thing on the wall means that the light comes on. Oh my God. So, for some it's a miracle, but really, hello, Leslie, how you doing? Sorry, I'm just looking at the chat for the first time. but actually, is it a miracle? No, we just didn't know how it worked. Now you start to know. Now you're learning. Okay. So where was I? So that was an example of somebody. Okay. Now, before we carry on to the seven simple things that you're going to do over this 14 days, you're here in the Deliberate Millionaire Gathering. Okay. Everybody starts with the 14-day prosperity reset, and then you go on to carrying on with the Deliberate Millionaire daily ritual, which you will start to see in the Deliberate Millionaire Gathering, because everything happens within the Deliberate Millionaire Gathering, which is on Facebook currently. At some point, I probably will move it, but for right now, Facebook is available. Why not? So everybody is in there. And so you are becoming a Deliberate Millionaire. These are our foundational beliefs. Okay. As you come to join us, as I said to you, in your head right now, start to understand that this will be over a period of time. What we're doing here, yes, we start with the 14 days, but you're going to be asked to join Abundance, okay? And you're going to be given a very special offer for the first, 7 days or something after you finish the 14 days. After that, it goes back to the regular price that everybody else has. So I would suggest strongly that you take advantage of it at that point, but you get to do the 14 days and all that first, okay? Now, the 5 foundational Deliberate Millionaire beliefs that as you're coming into our world, start to understand what we're about. Number 1, you are the authority in your life. I've kind of mentioned this a few times, but you are. I used to say foundational is connection to the divine, and it is foundational. But actually, even more than that is you taking full authority, you taking full responsibility for your path. Nobody else's. Yours. Your life, no one else's. Yours. You are the authority in your life. Nothing can exist in your future without your say so. You just didn't realize that you were saying so. Now you need to get, and it is going to be over a period of time, you're going to learn to design your life. But it starts by really fully owning that you are the authority in your life. It's not just happening to you. You're not just subject to the whims of fate or karma or the divine or anything. You are the authority in your life. Okay? That's number 1, belief. Number 2 is that you are one with the divine. You are one with the divine. For some, maybe it's easier to hear that you are created in the image and likeness of the divine. Because I was coming out of a religious background, it took me a while to be able to say that I'm one with the divine, because that felt like too big. Because I was brought up to think, you're worm of the earth. God is up there loving you and ticking off his naughty and nice list like Santa. But I didn't think about it that way then. Basically, and I don't want to reduce anybody else's beliefs, but I do want you to start to understand that there's nowhere that the divine stops and you start, and then the divine carries on, and then you stop. You see, sometimes there's this feeling as if the divine is there and you are little, small, subject to the divine and worm of the earth and kind of unworthy, and you're just lucky to be alive or something. And no, we do not believe that here in the Deliberate Millionaire Gathering at all. You are one with the divine. There's no subservience required, okay? You are one with the divine. You are powerful. You are limitless. You are designed to do life with the divine, okay? Because there's certain things you've forgotten, okay? And it is as you deepen your connection to the divine, you start to remember who you really are. You start to remember how to wield the authority that is yours. It is that connection to the divine. And frankly, that connection to the divine also means that you are less likely to give in to things like codependency, because when you really realize just how loved you are unconditionally, you don't need to get all of your emotional needs met by the people in your life, the jobs in your life, the whatever in your life. You get it from source. You get it all from source. And that's part of that's part of what you learn in the Deliberate Millionaire. You deepen that connection to the divine, because when you know who you are, you can show up in the world a heck of a lot more bold than when you're scared that if you say something, oh my God, everybody's going to desert you. And then you're not connected to the divine, then I'm going to be alone. And it's not always a conscious thought, but you hold back. But when you know how loved you are, when you know that you are one with the divine, you feel brave, or at least braver. Okay. Again, you are one with the divine. You are powerful. You are limitless. And number 3, your purpose here on planet Earth. Everybody's always wanting to know what their purpose is. I just don't remember. And I get it. Frankly, when you've been living your whole life, giving and giving and giving and giving, you've forgotten who you are. You begin to feel like you don't know what you want. You don't remember how to have fun anymore, blah, blah, blah. Well, let me say this to you. Your purpose here on planet Earth isn't to prepare for some next life, isn't to give up your own life to make sure everybody else is happy. It isn't to be an insurance policy for your parents or your children or whatever. No, that is not. And it isn't even to please the divine, okay? Your purpose here on planet Earth. And it's not to be tested and challenged until the next life, when hopefully you'll have a nice, wonderful paradise because you did good stuff, or you're going to just sing forever and praise the divine forever or something. Again, not trying to diminish anybody's beliefs, but I need you to understand that there's so much more to you. So much more to you. So to think about what you're thinking about. But anyway, your purpose here on planet Earth is to enjoy your life here on planet Earth. You didn't come here for the next life. You came here to be here and to enjoy being here. When you get to the next life, you'll enjoy being there. But while you're here, you need to figure out, what do I want? Because your purpose here is to enjoy being here. And guess what? Enjoying being here means your desires are valid. Your desires are safe guidance. Your desires are divine guidance even. Okay? So when you wonder about what your purpose is, we Deliberate Millionaires know that our purpose is to enjoy being here. So what do you enjoy? It's time to get back in touch with that. Okay? Number 4. You can leave behind the pain and limiting beliefs of the past, and you can rise victorious in your true design. Nothing, no trauma, no event, no emotions, no whatever, no thoughts can keep you down forever. Okay? You get to clear, you get to heal, you get to rise above, you get to step up to your throne, is what we like to call it. Stay on your throne and leave the underground behind. The noise, the nonsense, and drama of the underground. You do not need to be subject to any of it anymore as soon as you choose no longer to be. You can heal, you can clear, you can do all of this stuff. You can use your emotions as tools to create the life that you want, rather than being, we just finished an immersion series called How to Get Rid of Emotional Enslavement. Because a lot of people are walking around, oh, I feel sad and therefore my whole life is over. And especially, unfortunately, when you're a spiritual person and you've learned a lot about manifestation, you're trying to raise your frequency, you're trying so hard to be perfect at everything. And some days you are just not perfect. And it's still okay. But if you've learned all of this stuff, you're punishing yourself, you're beating yourself, you're sabotaging yourself. You can't punish your way into a better life. You can, however, leave behind all of this noise, nonsense, and drama, and rise victorious in your true design. And I do teach you all of this stuff within the gathering, and you'll start to pick up this stuff. Please, 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 please pay attention to what is happening within the group. It will change your life. Okay, so that's number 4. Number 5 is you create your own reality. I've already said this, but I'll say this again. Nothing can exist in your future without your say so. You don't necessarily know it right now, but you will. And also that one, when it comes to you creating your reality, a lot of 1 to 4 is more about the internal identity, internal perspective, internal authority, all of that. Honey, there is practical things to do. Absolutely. Okay. We are divine beings having a human experience. There will always be the internal stuff to do, but there will also be the external stuff to do. Okay. So creating your own reality means pairing your spiritual authority with practical action. And then together, things start to accelerate. You will, as part of because every day you're going to get a reminder of what you need to do each day. And there'll be some little bits of training and teaching in there. I think it's day 2, day 3 or something. I wrote a whole big long blog post and everything explaining all of these beliefs. Please read it, okay? It will give you a bit more understanding about what I'm talking about here. But those are the 5 foundational deliberate millionaire beliefs. Do you resonate with them? Then you're definitely one of us, okay? But welcome, okay? So I also I got this impression, and I wrote a whole song about you're in a room with no walls. You're in a room with no walls. You should get my album, which you will do if you decide to have a personal conversation with me in the Make Your Life Work Better diagnostic consultation. You'll hear about that at some point. But you're in a room with no walls. Right now, you have put yourself in a room with walls that are very, very restricted. So you can hardly move anywhere. And there's only so much that can fit into that room with you. Part of doing this 14-day reset is that you are pushing down the walls, because what you would start to realize, and I almost feel like I need to draw a picture of this because I had this impression from the divine about what I'm trying to explain here, is that everything you desire, imagine you're in a room, okay? Everything you desire, you just need to walk. So maybe you just need to walk over there and get that. So I want some money. Oh, it's just over there. I would love great health. Oh, that's just over there. Great relationships. Oh, it's just over there. However, because you have built a room or you've built walls that are here, here, and here. So though the money is there, you can't see it. You can't feel it. You can't get there because you have this wall blocking you from seeing what is already yours in the room with you, but you can't see it. I think of, I'm into Disney princesses, and recently the whole Snow White, the live action version came out, and I'm always the thing. Okay, people, I'm not sure people really loved it, but I did because there was this underlying meaning that I saw in there, which was that she was in this castle with her evil stepmother, surrounded by a lot of resources that could help her take back her life, take back the life that she was meant for. But she was waiting for her father to come back and save the day. Father, at this point, is dead or something. He disappeared. But she was hoping that he was going to come back and save the day. But then, as for whatever reason, finally she realized, she woke up. It's just like me. I had that moment where it was just like, this is not meant to be my life. She had that moment. And she suddenly opened her eyes to what had always been there. The people were always there. The resources she needed to claim the life she wanted, they were always there. But while she was playing small, while she was thinking, I'm waiting on a wish or something, while she was waiting for her husband, her father to come and save the day, all these resources, all the people that could help her were there, and she couldn't see them. She couldn't see that she could use them. But nothing changed except Snow White. Nothing will change in your life except you and your awareness of what is possible. And that is what the 14-day reset starts to make happen for you. It's that nothing about you really needs to change. You just need to strip off the layers and push down the walls and start to see what has always been yours. And this is an ongoing thing. It's an ongoing learning and opening up and increasing your awareness of what has always been yours. we start with the 14-day reset to start pushing down the wall. So you start seeing, oh my goodness, the money I wanted, it was just there. It was just there. But this wall, I couldn't see it. Now you start to, especially as you deepen that connection to the divine, you start to feel safe. You start to feel loved. You start to think, I don't need these walls no more. Push them down. Look, let's go get that. Yes, yes, you can. Okay, so little by little, please be patient with yourself. Please be consistent. Okay, okay. Ultimately, the reset, as I said, it's shaking your fierce grip on this restricted version of your reality so that you can open up to a more expanded reality. Some of y'all think that the world is a hostile place. No, it's not. It's just the way you've been trained to see it. Oh, everybody's out to scam you. No, they're not. Maybe some people are, but for the most part, they're not. And a lot of the things that you desire are going to come through people. And if every time somebody tries to give you something, it's like, oh, it's a scam. What's the catch? Then it's like I want it, but I'm rejecting it. Stop. Stop. You're always running out of time. No. Time is subject to you, okay? So many ideas that you don't even know you're thinking, but you're so used to them, and they're limiting your ability to receive what you say you want. This 14-day reset, being in abundance, will help you to start pushing down these walls. Start identifying them in the first place, for goodness sake, so that you can push them down. How can you handle, or how can you correct something you don't even know needs to be corrected? So many ideas you have inside of you that you just think are normal. It's just the way it is, isn't it? That's the way everybody sees it, right? Yeah, well, you want uncommon success, honey. You can't see life the way common people do. Okay. And we need to start paying attention to our words. We need to start paying attention to our thoughts. We need to start paying attention to our frequency. Yes, I know all of these things are necessary that we pay attention to, but please, I talk about stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Without complicating things even further. But for most people, and obviously you're listening to me right now, you're in stage 2. You're the painfully awakened spiritual people, where you're awake. You know how that manifestation is a thing. You know that you create your own reality. You know this stuff. And not, as I said, nothing I'm saying to you seems completely new. You've kind of known it, you just don't know how to make it work. But you're beating yourself up a lot trying to make it work. And that is a very painful place to be. What you want to do is get to stage 3, and that's what being here helps you do. Stage 3 is a practical mystic, where you know you are perfectly imperfect, and it's okay, and you're loved completely, and you are still worthy of every single thing that you desire. And life gets a lot easier when you leave behind stage 2. But being here helps you do that. At the moment, you don't know any different, but you're here. You've been asking for help. You're here. Please, please, please start choosing to say yes to the ideas and the invitations that are coming your way. You're here. Do the stuff. Do the stuff. Do the stuff. We're going to practice things. And now we're going to talk about the 7 simple steps. Now get your notebook. Listen in. Okay, so let me share this with you. I'll share the screen with you. This is our first step. And all I need from you guys as you're listening in to me is tell me when you've written it down. Say done, done, done in the chat, okay? Say done in the chat, then I know it's done. But our first action, very simple to do. Nothing that I'm going to talk about in the next 7 actions is difficult in any way. So first one is, I easily accept new prosperity thoughts and I'm willing to increase my income now. I easily accept new prosperity thoughts and I'm willing to increase my income now. I easily accept new prosperity thoughts and I'm willing to increase my income now. Please write that down in your notebook. Write it down, write it down, write it down. Once it is written, please tell me that you have written it down so that I know it is done and we can move on. I easily accept new prosperity thoughts and I am willing to increase my income now. Tell me when you've written it down. Come on, come on, come on. All of y'all that are lurking, do not let this be how it continues, okay? No lurking. When you come into group, make sure you come and introduce yourselves, actually. That also be something that you do today. Come and introduce yourselves. Come and introduce yourselves. I will have a welcome post put up later on today, but please, 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 please come and introduce yourselves. I want to know who you are. I want to do life with you. And also, I know that you'll get the most out of this if you actually show up. So please, even now as you're listening to me, I know it feels safe to just hide away and not actually say hello or not do it, but that hasn't worked for you. I understand that in a group setting, there's a part of you that feels a little bit vulnerable about showing up, but that the whole vulnerability is a strength. So get over it and show up. Okay. Okay, Dan, excellent. Thank you. At least one person is responding to me. Thank you. And so we're going that first affirmation, you're going to write 25 times, not necessarily right now, not right now, in fact, 25 times. And you're going to do that day 1 to 4. Okay. So for the first 4 days of the 14-day prosperity reset, you're going to write that affirmation down. Okay. Okay. And now our second action is this affirmation. Please write that down. And again, when you're done, please say done in the chat. I accept prosperity as my divine right. This one is a bit shorter, so it'll take even less time to write it. Okay. I accept prosperity as my divine right. Tell me when you're done. Tell me when you're done. I accept prosperity as my divine right. I accept prosperity as my divine. If you don't want me to keep singing at you, I accept prosperity as my divine right. I accept prosperity. Okay. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So moving on. And that is day 5 to 14. So and if you get to the end of 14 and it doesn't seem as if you had a tangible breakthrough that you can say, you know what, this changed, keep going to day 30. So day 5 to 14 or 30. Okay. Keep going. Keep going. Don't see this as just needs to be for 14 days. No. This is you changing your life. Okay. And it's taking you decades to get here. Please give it time. Okay. So day 5 to 14 or 30, use this second one. Now, our third, and you're writing it 25 times. Yeah. Our third action, before we carry on, example of somebody who did it for 7 days and got this. Now, not everybody's going to do it, as I said. That's why I extended it. Not everybody does it within 7 days, and that's fine. Some people, it's 30 days, and that's fine too. Okay, there's no rush here. There's no rush. We don't need to be speeding through everything because everything can change in an instant. So just allow it. Allow what needs to happen within you, and then see the tangible breakthrough, and then keep going. Okay, so this was an example of somebody who got some unexpected income come through. I also remember getting that myself, but that was somebody else. They got something paid into their account, and blah. Okay, action 3. Write these words down: free, fulfilled, abundant, love, wealth, success. Free, I know wealth and success are not there, but I want you to write them down anyway, because I like them. Free, fulfilled, abundant love. Free, fulfilled, abundant love. Wealth, success. Wealth, success. Woo! Free, fulfilled, abundant love. Free, fulfilled, abundant love. Wealth, success. Wealth, success. So listen, they tell us, the psychologists tell us that we have the same 60,000 thoughts. How did they measure this? No idea. Same 60,000 thoughts every single day. So what we are seeking to do as deliberate millionaires who design our own lives is change some of those thoughts, or replace, more to the point, replace some of those thoughts with thoughts that we have chosen, such as freedom, fulfillment, abundance, and love, and wealth, and success. I did not ask you to say I am anything. Even don't say freedom, just those words as they are is all I want you to be saying to yourself over and over and over. You don't need to write these down every day. I just need you to, during the day, you're driving in the car on your own, you're walking around, you are going to the loo, you are doing whatever, just be saying those words to yourself. Free, fulfilled, abundant love, wealth, success. Free, fulfilled, abundant love, wealth, success. You don't even have to really say it out loud. You can say it, whisper it, and ultimately your subconscious mind is hearing it. You're retraining your subconscious mind to accept freedom, fulfillment, abundance, and love, and wealth, and success. Let that become the thing that you hear more. You start immersing yourself in this idea of freedom, fulfillment, abundant love. I would even, if I were you, spend a little bit of time thinking about, what does freedom look like to me? What does does fulfillment look like to me? What does abundance look like to me? What does it feel like to me? What does love feel like to me? All of that stuff. What does wealth, success feel like to me? That way, when you're saying the words, you're infusing it with the imagination of what it feels like, what it thinks like, and all of that. Okay, so you are replacing some of those 60,000 thoughts, because a lot of the time you've been repeating the same stuff, which your behaviors generally tend to come out of your thoughts, which then create feelings, which then you act upon or you react to. Okay, and if they're the same thoughts you've been thinking consistently every single day, then your actions, of course, are going to be the same actions. So you're going to keep getting the same results. What we want to do is replace some of those. We're not adding to it. We're replacing them. Okay, we're replacing them. And by you being very deliberate about this, so catch yourself during the day. If you notice that you're thinking, oh, this kind of thing never seems to work for me, immediately, before you allow it to even continue, you just, you know what? I am the authority in my life. So I get to choose whether this kind of thing works for me or not. Free, fulfilled, abundant love. Free, fulfilled, abundant love. Free, fulfilled, abundant love. Wealth, success. Free, fulfilled. Make a chant of it. And have an affirmation walk. Free, fulfilled, abundant love. Deliberately go for a walk where you are deliberately walking around the block and saying these things to yourself, because you want to get them into your system. This idea that, you know what, I am meant for free, fulfilled, abundant love, not struggle and restriction and unfulfillment and all of that stuff that you've just taken as normal adult life. No more. So that's your third action, is just say these words repeatedly, numerous times each day. That's all. Very simple to do, very simple not to do. Again, I like to say to clients, set a 30-minute reminder thing. So every 30 minutes or so, check in with yourself. What's going on in my brain? Free, fulfilled, abundant love, free, fulfilled. You don't need to analyze anything. You don't need to analyze anything. If you just notice that you're not quite thinking things that seem to elevate, then start free, fulfilled, abundant love, free, fulfilled, abundant love, wealth, success. You can even say the affirmation again. I easily accept prosperity, or whatever the affirmation is. You can say it to yourself as well. If you get used to writing it down, you might get it stuck in your brain. You can be saying that as well. But ultimately, you're choosing what you allow yourself to dwell on during the day. You're not going to be perfect all the time, and perfection is not required. Okay, but as soon as you catch yourself, so as I said, set those reminders, and you'll get better at it. But it's practice. It's practice. Okay, so numerous times each day. Yeah, and this was again somebody else who suddenly got some money from some old website that wasn't even running anymore. Okay. The fourth action. Okay, this in the group, Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday in the group, there will be first thing in the morning, depending on where you are in the world. You will have this image come up into the Facebook group, the Deliberate Millionaire Gathering group. Okay, when you see this, or look for it. Okay, there's one every Monday to Friday. Look for it. This image, this specific image, I use it every single Monday to Friday. This is the divine download. Is number 4. Read the caption, and it's number 4. There's the whole Deliberate Millionaire Daily Ritual. You do not need to do any of the rest. Whilst you're doing the 14-day reset. Once you join Abundance. Once you finish the 14-day reset, then you can do the rest. But for right now, all I want you to focus upon is the divine download, because we want to deepen your connection to the divine. So I sit down with the divine each day and ask for a message for the community. What does the community need to hear today? Or what would you like to say to the community today? And then I write that down, or type it up, and I bring it into group. Okay, so it's number 4. So you look for this image, and then you go to number 4, and it's only available in the group. Okay, so you look for number 4, and then read it. Take you less than 2 minutes. Have your notebook to hand, and just sit down for 5 minutes, even with the divine, and say, "How is this relevant to me?" And allow yourself to notice whatever bubbles up inside of you, whatever thoughts, whatever anything comes up inside of you. Just write it down, draw it. Feel into it, but record what you're sensing, what seems to be coming up for you, and try to have a conversation. So you get a sense of something, you ask a question about it, you get some more sense of something, and you start to actually learn that you can hear very, very, very personally from the divine yourself. You start to deepen that. I mean, because when you start to realize when somebody loves you completely, how can you not love back? Unless they're really gross, but the divine is not gross. So okay, so practice this. Your the divine downloads are there to support you in like priming the prompt of hearing the divine speaking to you. Okay, so sit with it. How is this relevant to me? Record whatever insights you get. So write down whatever you hear, whatever you perceive, whatever you feel. Just record it, and you can come and share it in group as well. That would be really awesome. I'd love to hear what we're all getting from the divine. I'd love to hear it. Okay, do not wait for anybody else. Remember, this is about your life. Okay, so come and share. I would love to hear. So that's the fourth action. Simple to do. Simple to do. Okay. Number 5, no complaining. I've had my clients, actually my private clients, saying this is one of the hardest parts of this, because what for a lot of you will realize, and I realize this myself, okay, so no judgment from me, is that a lot of your conversation is just complaining about something or someone. And so here we are trying not to complain. And I definitely say, you know what, give yourself grace, but do your best definitely in this 14 or 30 days or 7 days or whatever. Well, no, always 14 days, at least 14 days, is definitely don't complain about money. If you want to have miracle money, you cannot be complaining about it whilst at the same time saying, I would like to have some more money, but oh, life is horrible, and look at the economy, and oh, there's just no money, and oh, I can't pay those bills. No. Please don't cancel out what you're trying to create. Okay, do not focus on the stuff you do not want. You need to be focusing on what you do want. When you catch yourself about to, you start saying the right words: free, fulfilled, abundant love, or the affirmation, I accept prosperity as my divine right. Or if you're in conversation with people, because what you'll start to find out that a lot of people, and the people you're surrounded by, like to complain. Please don't become the I'm so excited about what I'm doing, so I'm going to make sure everybody else's life feels horrible because I'm going to make sure I point out to them when they're being negative. No, let them be on their journey. You be on yours. Okay, you just simply need to withdraw from such conversations, or don't take it on. Don't take it on. Okay, and don't take on trying to correct everybody else's language. Just focus on your own. Okay, so, and do your best. As soon as you notice you're about to voice a complaint, backtrack. Turn it around. Be quiet. That's fine. Okay. And yes, it might seem odd, even for the people around you, but do your best. Do not cancel out your own prosperity with your own words. Okay, with your own mouth. The power of life and death is in the tongue. So please speak life. Speak life with your own tongue. Okay. So that's number 5. No complaining. This was somebody else did it again. This was when it was a 7-day thing, and she got a whole new yoga studio, basically, and she had free, fulfilled, abundant love rolling off her tongue. Let it be you too. Let that be rolling off your tongue too. Number 6, celebrate yourself. Celebrate each day. Call them gratitudes, call them celebrations, whatever. What the thing again that I found with private clients is that most of you, everybody is more likely to notice when things are going wrong. I like to give the example of when I was a lot more actively doing property investment. I mean, we now just do it as an investment thing, but I used to be more active, being a landlord and managing things. And I had 65 tenants at this point, okay? And I'd have 64 amazing tenants paying all their rent and everything. I'd have one person that didn't pay their rent, that was giving me jip. And all I could think about was that one person. All I could think about was that one person. Even though there were 64 others who were amazing. They're doing everything right and everything. But all I would be lying in bed thinking about this one person. Oh my God. And that's how we are. You see the thing you don't want, and all you can do is focus on it. And so even though you have a tangible breakthrough, you don't notice because all you can see is the top stuff that is going wrong. So the way we combat this is by very deliberately choosing every evening to look at the day and look for things that you're grateful for, things to celebrate yourself about. Celebrating yourself. Too many of y'all are beating up yourself about all the things you think you've done wrong, or the fact that you're not where you think you should be by now. And if you really listen to the language you use around yourself, you would never allow anybody to speak to you that way. And yet, if you listen to yourself, gosh, it's a harsh place to be inside of you. Enough. Now we very deliberately take a little bit of time to write out a few celebrations of yourself and gratitudes for what has happened that day, looking for the good. And come and share at least one of them with us in group. Okay. Every evening I do mine as well. Monday to Friday. I just do mine Monday to Friday, but you have to do it the whole time. Okay. I still do it the other time, but I just do it in group Monday to Friday. So come and share at least one of them with us in group. Let us celebrate with you. Come and do life with us in group, yeah? But you take the time to write out yourself, but then come and share some with us as well, because we want to become those who look for the good. We look for the good, okay? So it's a habit we want to get into. So that's number 6. Simple to do. Number 7 used to just say, just do it, man. But now there's a bonus action that goes along with it, which is get some notes or a note of money in your currency, whatever country you're in. Lift it up to your nose, smell it, and say, I am at one with an awesome amount of money. I'm at one with an awesome amount of money, man. I'm at one with an awesome amount of money. Okay. I remember reading this and doing this, and it was just fun. It's fun to do, and it's also a way of anyway, I won't go into the spiritual, gotta just do this. Okay, let's keep it that simple. Just do it. And you don't, after you've done it a few times, you kind of get into the habit of it and the idea of the smell of it in the back of your throat somewhere. So then you don't actually have to have money in your hand, but it's nice to just have money around. Have it in your phone, have it in your cards, have some money around under your pillow. So everywhere you go, there's money. You're surrounded by money. You're one. Ooh, my husband shouting about dinner. Let's bring this to a close. But anyway, you are one with an awesome amount of money. You're one with a heck of a lot of money, whatever feels good to you. The other affirmation I like to say is money flows to me with ease, simplicity, and speed. Okay, whatever works for you, but smell the money. Imagine that you have all, because ultimately money is love energy materialized. So just imagine that you're watering, as you breathe in, you're watering with love energy the money tree inside of you. Okay. And it's bearing fruit in your physical reality as actual money, cash in the bank, and all of that. Just imagine that as you say, I'm one with an awesome amount of money. Okay. And that's it. 7 actions, very simple to do, very simple not to do. Be that person. Love number 5. Excellent. Yes, it's simple to do. Okay, this is simple to do. Be the person that does it. Be the person that keeps it simple. And now what I want to ask you is, before we go, and if you're listening to the recording, so you're not here live, then I want you to come into group and say and tell me this. Will you do it? Will you do it? Now that you know what I'm asking you to do, now can you make it an internal commitment and also write it in the chat? I will do it. So if you're here with me, will you do it? I will do it. Put it in the chat. But remember, it's not for me. It's for you. And if you're listening to the recording, come and tell us in group with your introduction. Come and say, I will do it. Okay? Write it down. Will you do it? It's simple to do. I will do it. Will you do it? Will you do it? Any of y'all do it? Well, any of y'all do it. Will you do it? Will you do it? Will you do it? It's very, very simple. Will you do it? Yes. Excellent. I'm not waiting for anybody else. You will do it. Excellent. Well, this is also what I must say to y'all. As a result of this internal commitment that you are going to do it, there will be some inner demons that come up because you're trying to push out of your comfort zone. And so your subconscious mind will want to keep you safe, keep you restricted, but, keep you in what is comfortable. But you're breaking free. You are the authority in your life, remember. You are the authority in your life. So when these inner demons come up, when you start to feel like, oh my God, it all feels intense. And, sometimes when you start to shake things, it can feel like things are really shaking. Don't get scared, and do not be the lone wolf. It hasn't served you in the past to try and put a smile on your face and pretend everything is fine. And spiritual people like to do this thing where, I don't want to speak about anything. Listen, the Deliberate Millionaire Gathering is a safe space for you. And it's the place where you can be honest. I don't say go around complaining about everything to anybody, but I am saying when there's stuff happening, come and share with us in group. As long as you come with the intention that I really do want some support around what is going on in my life, then bring it into group. I will help you out. I will sit down with the divine and look at what you've said and ask for guidance for you. Okay. And deliver it to you in a very practical, this is what you need to do next. Or if you really don't want to do the whole group thing, that's absolutely fine as well. Because there's the option, let me share this with you, where you can come and have a private conversation with me. Okay. It's called the Make Your Life Work Better Diagnostic Consultation. Okay. It is an actual session with me, an actual coaching session with me, where we will break down whatever is going on, identify what is holding you back, and get sort it out. Okay. And it does come with my album, which, I talked about the I'm in a room with no walls. I would suggest you get it, even if just for the album and the books and all of that. But actually, no. Not just for that stuff, because the information alone is not going to transform you. It is, let me help you see what is going on. You will leave that session with very clear instruction as to what needs to happen next. Okay. You will. Okay. You will absolutely. Yeah. I like to ensure that you get some kind of internal work that needs to happen, but also a very practical external thing that needs to happen in order to move you forward. So whatever is going on, bring it to the session. I will help you out with that. And for the 14 days of this, you can get access to this at a really reduced cost, because my sessions are more than this. So what you get, it's just $22.22 for the 14 days that you are in the Prosperity Reset. It's available for that 14 days. Please make sure you take advantage of it during the 14 days. After that, I can't keep doing sessions to everybody, so it won't be accepted. If you pay the $22.22, it'll just go towards your membership of Abundance or whatever. So please make sure that if you do feel you need that one-on-one support, take advantage of it whilst it's available during the 14 days. Okay, as I said, it's $22.22, so it's not crazy break the bank or anything, and it will give you insights that you wouldn't just, if you had been able to get them on your own, you already would have. Let's be clear. Okay, so take advantage of that. Okay, now understand this, what you've learned from what we said here, it is enough. Please do not add anything to it. Don't take anything away. Just do the 7 things. You've committed, do it. Please do all of it. Keep it simple, all of that. And now we're going to bring this to a close. We're going to bring this to a close with what I call the love prayer. So let us say this together. I'm going to share it with you. So that we can say this together, because just say these words with me. Okay, it is the love prayer. I call it the love prayer, and I just kind of want to seal what we've done today. So say these words with me as I'm saying them. Okay, they're right there on your screen. You can even put your hand on your heart. There is only one power, and that power is your love divine. I am one with you. I am one with your love. I am powerful. I am limitless. And what I decree must come to pass. Your love transmutes, which ultimately just means it changes. It transmutes all layers of doubt. Your love transmutes all layers of fear. Your love keeps me focused. Your love keeps me clear. Your love transmutes all layers of guilt. Your love transmutes all layers of shame. Your love keeps me focused. Your love keeps me in the game. Your love transmutes all layers of regret. Your love transmutes all layers of despair. Your love restores my hope, my peace, my joy. Your love restores my youth and my years. Your love transmutes all resentment and envy. Your love transmutes all hate and rage. Your love transmutes any bitter root within me. Your love rebuilds my self-trust and my faith. Your love flows freely through me right now, dissolving, resolving, evolving. Your love flows freely through me right now, harmonizing and adjusting. Your love flows freely through me right now, resolving, dissolving, evolving. Your love makes me magnetic to the desires of my heart. I feel your love propelling me forward into greater and greater financial prosperity right now. Money, wealth, riches are flooding into my life from everywhere and in great abundance, with ease and with speed. Yes! And so it is. Thank you, Divine. Woo! And that, my darlings, brings us to the end of today's little session here. you are now beginning. So you can either start tonight, let this be your day one if you're an evening person, or tomorrow morning, let that be your day one. You will receive the replay of this as well as a checklist of everything that we've agreed to do. Okay, so that will come in your email, and I will tell you in group when it's been sent to your email. So make sure you're looking for my emails. Please make sure you're looking for your emails, because they sometimes go to spam or promotions folders or bulk folders, or who knows where they're going these days. So go look for them. Okay, go look for them. And you will also be getting daily a reminder of what needs to happen. Okay, so please make sure you are looking out for the emails from me. Oh my goodness, honeys. I'm looking forward to hearing your tangible breakthroughs. I'm looking forward to doing life with you within the group. It's been a pleasure sharing all of this with you. So, woohoo! Go forth and do it and prosper. You ready? Are you ready? Great. Until the next time, my lovelies, go forth and prosper. See you in group. Come and introduce yourself. You're so welcome, Leslie. And everybody else listening to me, I'm sure you're saying thank you too. You're so welcome. Come and introduce yourself in group. I want to hear from all of y'all. I want to know who you are. I want to do life with you. Okay, let's do this thing together. Much amazing love. See you in group. Bye. Oh, yes.